Time now for Media Watch, a look at what's been making news in the Chinese media. The China Daily reports on activist who wants to know if the government has honored a promise to change laws prohibiting entry to HIV-positive foreigners. The newspaper says Lu Jun, a Beijing-based anti-discrimination activist, has written to China's Ministry of Health asking that the country's visa rules for foreigners be clarified as soon as possible. He is quoted as saying that some foreigners with AIDS, hepatitis B, and other diseases are worried that they will be denied a Chinese visa. The U.S. has recently announced its intention to repeal rules that bar HIV carried from traveling to the country. The Shanghai Daily quotes a senior public health official saying that China is experiencing a syphilis epidemic, a sexually transmitted disease that the country virtually wiped out in the 1960s. Chen Xiansheng of China Center for Disease Control and Prevention also said that mass migration of rural workers to the country's urban areas has been a major factor in the spread of the disease. He added that areas with a higher prevalence of syphilis are usually places where the economy is booming, but where there's also greater economic inequality. There were nearly 300,000 officially reported syphilis infections in China last year, triple the number from 2004. Xinhua reports that China's Ministry of Civil Affairs has sent 30,000 quilts and sets of padded clothing to quake-affected people in the country's province of Yunnan. An earthquake measuring 5 on the Richter scale shook the western part of Yunnan on Monday. It affected over 300,000 people, forcing the relocation of over 60,000 residents. 30 people were injured and hundreds of homes were flattened. The ministry has sent thousands of tents to help those affected, and the provincial government has allocated over $650,000 for emergency relief. The health brother of U.S. President Barack Obama has made a rare public appearance in southern China, where he has been living for the past 7 years. The China Daily reports that Mark Okoth Obama de Sanjo is launching a novel that he says draws on his difficult childhood with an abusive father, and his first major public appearance also comes less than 2 weeks before Barack Obama visits China for the first time since taking office. Mark de Sanjo shares the same late father as the U.S. president, but he has kept a low profile since it was reported last year that he lives and works in the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen. Two conflicting theories try to explain the origin of the human race. The multi-regional and the out-of-Africa theories disagree over whether humans evolved in different parts of the world or are all descended from a small group that traveled out of Africa to populate the world. Now, the Nankuo Jiaobao newspaper carries the story of a 110,000-year-old human lower jawbone unearthed recently in a cave in the Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region. The incomplete human fossil could shed further light on the argument, as it would predate the supposed departure from Africa. Experts from the Chinese Academy of Science suggest the find could play an important part in resolving this hotly contested scientific debate in favor of the multi-regional theory. The Global Times has a story on the Jewish heritage of northeastern China's city of Harbin. It mentions what it called the New Jewish Synagogue, a building with the Star of David on its dome, which holds a collection of artifacts relating to Jewish culture. It quotes a scholar, Li Chuxiao, as saying the Jewish community can be traced back to the late 19th century when the first Russian Jewish immigrants arrived in Harbin. Li says more than 20,000 Jewish people spent part of their lives in the city. The city also boasts another synagogue called the Old Synagogue. Well, that's today's Media Watch, and in fact, that is all for the team here at BON News for now. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.